In a world that grows ever more complex and noisy, it is often the simplest stories, quiet yet wise, that touch our hearts the deepest. On the journey to inner growth, clarity, and authentic living, we may not always need grand advice, but rather a different perspective. A small story that makes us pause and reflect. Rise and Quotes is honored to share with you these thought-provoking short tales, where reverse thinking, gentle wisdom, and deep life lessons shine a light on who we are. May each passage not only bring a quiet smile to your face, but also gently open your heart to a more mindful, elevated way of living. Essence. Cultural elites from China, Russia, France, Germany, and Italy gathered to present their national identities through wine. The Chinese brought their finest mayo Thai, the Russians chose vodka, the French brought champagne, the Italians offered wine, and the Germans showcased whiskey, each uniquely distinct. Then, the Americans slowly and calmly mixed all of them together and said, "This is a cocktail." It represents the spirit of America distilling essence, blending creativity and creating something new. Lesson: great minds don't just preserve their uniqueness, they know how to extract the best, harmonize differences, and create something fresh from the old. Gentle reminder: a few weeks later, 3 boys started playing loudly and kicking trash cans nearby. He couldn't bear the noise, so he approached them. Don't lock yourself into a fixed identity. Open up to the different, and you'll discover a wider world and a wiser self. The reverse thinking of the Jewish man, Gary Shakar, a retired Jewish man, moved into a quiet home near a school. "If you come here every day and kick the cans, I'll give each of you $10. You boys are having such fun. I enjoy watching you play." Excited, the boys eagerly played louder than ever. 3 days later, he said, "Due to inflation, I can now only pay $5. Though disappointed, they continued. Turn their motivation into a burden. They'll stop on their own. A week later, he said, "My pension hasn't arrived yet. I can only pay $2. One boy frowned and said, $2? You think we'll waste our precious time for that? We're done?" Mr. Brown sometimes came home late and used a key to enter silently. From then on, peace returned. Lesson: when you can't control others, change your approach. Reminder: wisdom isn't always about confronting. It's about making others change themselves. Use softness over force, finesse over volume. Instinct. The Brown family, descendants of Jewish heritage, lived near London. One night, he lost his key and rang the bell, but no one answered. He knocked and shouted, but still silence. He paused, then softly mimicked a child's voice. "Mommy, I need to pee." His wife instantly woke and opened the door. Lesson: the professor sighed. When effort fails, don't push harder, think differently. Intelligence lies in perspective, in touching what truly matters. Reminder: don't just knock on the door, learn to knock on the heart. Flexible thinking is the key to every locked way. The professor and the fisherman. A professor went boating and asked the fisherman, "Do you know biology?" "No," the fisherman replied. "Then you've wasted a quarter of your life." Later, he asked, "Do you know philosophy?" "No." "Another quarter wasted." "Hey, then do you understand science?" Again? "No." Suddenly a storm hit. The boat shook violently. The fisherman asked, "Do you know how to swim?" Out of pity, Wang gave him $10. The next day, the beggar returned, and Wang gave the same. This went on daily for 2 years. "No." The professor panicked. "Well, you may have lost your entire life." Lesson: not all knowledge is essential. Sometimes one practical skill outweighs a lifetime of theory. Reminder: don't underestimate the simple or overvalue the complex. Wisdom lies not in knowing much, but in knowing what truly matters. The beggar. One day, a beggar came to Mr. Wang's door. One day, Wang gave only $5. The beggar frowned. "Why only 5? Wang replied. "I just got married and must save more." The beggar slapped him. When your heart is full of bias, wealth, or fame, people don't see the real youth, they see what you carry. You scoundrel, How dare you spend my money on your wife? Lesson. Unwise generosity breeds dependency. Without boundaries, kindness can be mistaken for obligation. Reminder, helping is noble, but do it to empower, not to create reliance. The most sustainable giving is wise giving. The bottle, if you fill a glass bottle with milk, it becomes a milk bottle. Fill it with oil, and it's called an oil bottle. Only when it's empty do people see it as just a bottle. So it is with us. You are perceived through what you hold inside, not your true essence. Lesson. When your heart is overflowing with desires, status, and judgments, you're no longer living authentically. Gentle reminder, only when your soul is still open and willing to let go can you become empty enough to return to your true self, whole, free, and real.